listening to the ASN Podcast Network.
Yo, what is going on, everybody out there? Thanks so much for being here on this Friday night, the coolest place to be any Friday night, I could only imagine. There's nothing else out there that could possibly beat this. Good to see everybody. As always, we've got the philanthropist, world traveler over here, Instagram star Gutters Pub with us. How you doing, Gutters?
Good. How are you, boys?
Doing good. You've had the grandkid, so you've got the grandkid with you tonight?
Yeah, so we're going to be dipping in and out. Just kind of bear with us.
Well, that's cool. We can bear with you. How does one, 39 years old with a grandkid? It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm special like that.
Right, okay.
Not really.
Oh, Baker, what are you doing, Mr. Producer down here? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just getting I'm christening my new audio stuff.
I like it. You sound great. Sound good.
Now,
like that
since the other one was hit by
microphone.
lightning, it actually sounds okay. I'm not hearing the cracking and popping in my ears like I was.
Yeah, that's always a plus. I hate that when you get that.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
And I know it never came across on stream, but I could hear it. It's like, God, how is this not coming across on stream? I don't know. But yeah, breaking it in, still fiddling with the levels, but I think I got it pretty dialed in.
Yeah, you could probably turn it up a little bit. But, not to be an audio snob or anything that. But you could probably come up just a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to, let's see, LW, the Mouth of Houston, he's on vacation, and so is KJ. Nothing suspicious there. But it just so happens they're both, I don't know what's going on. But they're both out, so it's just the three of us tonight, but we are going to do our normal thing. We'll probably drop the link a little earlier than normal tonight for any guests that want to come up one at a time and talk about something. We'd love to hear from people about your local urban legends or anything like that. We've got a handful we're going to talk about. We think it might be kind of creepy, fun, something easy to do, kind of a lighthearted night. But we do thank everybody for being here. I do see we've already got some fine people coming in. Mr. Mitch, good to see you. Matt Dummett, Kentucky Blue Balls, Nate the Great. Hope you're feeling better, Nate. Let the big dog eats up in here. We got Gixxer Squid, SO. Who we got here? Mama Cuddles. I guess that's how you say it. Yeah, it's hard to read. I got a little glare on the thing. Good to see you over there on Gutters channel. We got Dozer in here. Good to see you, Dozer. Nightbot's coming in here. Probably drop a bunch of annoying stuff. Gutters Pub is in the chat as well. This is streaming live over on Gutters Pub channel. It's going out, obviously, over here on Traveling Fools channel. And it's also going out live on X. So we do appreciate everybody being here, no matter which part of the interweb you are watching on. So there you go. Somebody else take it away from there.
Well, I'm glad you're all here tonight, and it should be actually pretty interesting. We definitely want the chat's input. So just bear with me here. We definitely want the chat's input as we go along. So we're kind of excited to get this rolling, but we're going to let Baker kind of take it away.
Yeah, so as far as urban legends go, I think that everybody, and depending on what geographical region of America, you all probably have that one haunted house in your town, or you've got this rickety old bridge in your town, right? You've got something. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about. But we have some more well-known urban legends to kind of go over as well. Things like Slender Man, which I don't really know a whole lot about. Chupacabra. What was the other one? Fools. What was that doll that you know about?
Oh, yeah. We'll wait on that one. I'll jump into it in a minute. So,
well,
yeah, one of those creepy. Creepy
yeah.
Key West. What the hell's his name? Oh my gosh, now I'm trying to think of it. Robert the doll. Yeah, down there.
Oh.
That's always creepy. Always creeped me out seeing that when I was young.
Yeah, so we've got that. We just, I don't know. It's just going to be kind of all over the place. I've got some videos to share. Some of them aren't really urban legends anymore. They're kind of true. But they started off as kind of a conspiracy slash nobody believed it slash, oh, well, it is actually true. So we'll get into a little bit of that later. But I am also really curious to see what kind of callers we get to come in and talk about their particular town legends, because it's always fascinating to hear that and I think that it always, all of the legends that you hear about, they're all kind of related in one way, shape, or form. You know, everybody probably heard of Bloody Mary, you know, or they have a different rendition of Bloody Mary. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So if you want to bring up my shared screen there.
All right. Yeah, the Bloody Mary one, that one, let me pull this other one down. The Bloody Mary one, that one's always kind of, I don't know, always seem kind of cheesy to me. But I guess a lot of young, you know, isn't that more like for teenage girls would always do that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I did it. I remember doing it when I was, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, something like that. You know, it's one of those things where you hear about it from the upperclassmen in schools. Like, oh, you know who Bloody Mary is? You know, it just kind of gets passed on from there all the way down, right? But hey, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, I remember in school, like they would constantly have people turning the lights off in the bathroom to do it when you're in grade school. So.
Well, didn't Gutters? I'm not sure if Gutters she might be taking care of that.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Didn't you have a different name for it or something like that?
Yeah, Candyman.
Well, not Candyman. That was a movie.
Candyman was similar,
no. That's what they would say though.
Oh, people would actually say that.
Yes, into the mirror.
Because, like when you were a kid.
It was. Yeah. It's similar. They did that. They did that back home too.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Candyman was something the same.
So was
same
that
thing,
based
Bloody
on
Mary,
a
Candyman?
Was that based on a real thing?
I don't know.
The movie, you know.
Well, I think the movie was based off the urban legend.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Was the movie based off a real one?
Yeah, that's what I think. But hell, I don't know. So maybe somebody in chat can set us right, because trust me, we're going to get a lot of shit wrong tonight, but it's all in good fun.
Right, exactly. See Yamaha Biker coming in here too. Good to see you, Yamaha. KJ in the chat as well, saying Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Good to see you, KJ. We're missing you up here. Hope you're having a good time on your vacation. Jay Shipes, what's up, Jay? So anyway, let's go on ahead. So what do you want to do? What's Slender Man here? I don't know anything about Slender Man. What the heck
I don't know
is this?
much about Slender Man. I mean, that's kind of like a new thing, I think, you know, as far as like what it was or how it came about. But I think it kind of started later in the 2000s. But it's based on a fictional character that originated from an internet meme. And somehow it resembled a thin, unnaturally tall man with a blank face, and he's always wearing a black suit. But the Slender Man is commonly known to stalk and abduct, traumatize people. You know, it's kind of like, in my opinion, I think it's kind of like the less violent version of Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean?
The skinny one. It's like the skinny
tall
Ethiopian.
One, right. This one would have got drafted in the NBA for sure. The other one kept popping balls. But it particularly, Slender Man would target children. But I don't think there's any particular story that Slender Man's like tied to that's like, oh, hey, this is what this is. You know, they've made video games about this guy. They've made references in movies. I don't know if they've actually ever made an actual Slender Man movie. I don't think so. But if they did, I wouldn't know, because this is one of those urban legends that I just don't give two shits about. I'll be quite honest with you. This was later on, like I said, in the 2000s when it surged into popularity. And of course, social media is probably the one that kind of pushed it, right? So Slender Man is, I don't know. To me, this is why we're starting with him, because I don't know a whole lot about him. Maybe there's some younger 39-year-olds in chat that can kind of maybe call up and tell us a little bit more. Maybe they've got a Slender Man experience they want to talk about. I don't know, but we're just going to move on from Slender Man, because like I said, I don't have too much information on him.
Yeah, Gutters, do you know anything about Slender Man? Oh, Gutters is muted. She must be taking care of the baby. Yeah. So I don't really, maybe somebody else can call and add to that. I don't really even know much at all about Slender Man. So.
Yeah, no, me neither. Well, now this devilish fiend on the screen is known as the Chupacabra, another urban legend, and that's been primarily started in America, but I've heard it even in the South. It started in Puerto Rico, I think. But I heard it as a kid in the South about him, and there are so many renditions of this one. I mean, I've heard it as like a goat eater or a goat sucker, or that's what chupacabra stands for. And the reason they ever found out or ever became an urban legend about it is because I guess these farmers would find these goats that were mutilated and like dried out of its blood. And
yeah, I mean, obviously, didn't this one come from Mexico or something like that with a name like Chupacabra?
The first sightings was reported in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But yeah, it apparently
the damn thing swim over here.
No idea. He apparently
floated over on a. He went to Cuba and then floated over here with a mattress or something with a motor, little trolling motor tied to the back. Hey, what's up, Tony Silo? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Tony.
Yeah, so the chupacabra basically got thrusted into popularity, or just it's being recognized. There was an old show back in the early 90s. Do you remember the show called Sightings? It was on like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yes, 100%.
That was the first time I had ever heard of the chupacabra. And, I remember the story they did, because I thought Sightings, for being 1990s, they did a fantastic job at showing these little short stories. Like they were doing YouTube stuff before YouTube was doing it. So
right.
Maybe they helped create all of these, YouTubers we see today, because I mean you see a lot of short format like stories that are being told on YouTube in this particular fashion. So
what is this thing supposed to do? I mean, is it like eat children or something like that, or is it?
No, apparently it just attacks livestock, especially goats. Apparently, I don't know, it has a thing for goats, but it just attacks livestock and it just drinks their blood. That's just what it is.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe Gutters can tell us, did they ever have this in a Pacific Northwest thing? Was this ever kind of known up here if she's back?
No, I think she's still muted. She must be taking care of the baby. But Yamaha Biker thinks they are ROUSs. I don't believe they exist. A little Princess Bride reference there. Getting that, Yamaha. I like it. I like it. What a great movie, Princess Bride. Good movie.
It was.
Princess, what is her name? Buttercup?
I've never seen it.
You've never seen that? Oh, wow.
Oh, God, no. I was watching Bloodsport and fucking Rambo.
Oh, man, Bloodsport. That was great. Bloodsport was
great. It was great. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Remember when they took it? What would they do? Like wax and then rolled the broken glass onto their hands to make it better to fight?
I don't remember that part.
You don't remember that? Yeah, in Bloodsport. Remember they had to like take the wax and they rolled that was the one where they were fighting, and it was that weird.
Yeah, it was that tournament.
Yeah. I'd almost tell you it had the. What's his name? Was it not Randall Tex Cobb? But who was the other guy? I forget.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on.
I watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah, Cyborg was great too. But we don't want to turn this into a movie stream.
No, of course not.
Don't get me started on movies. You know where I'll end up. Yeah, so Chupacabra, don't know a whole lot about it, but I guess it comes in there and raids people's cattle in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and again, if somebody wants to call in later on and maybe they've got a story about the Chupacabra they want to elaborate with, I'd love to hear it. Just the information that I've not even read about, but like I said, I remember watching it on the show Sightings. That's pretty much all I know about this. But this
you got Gixer weighing in, see? He says the Chupacabra has told the children, especially in Mexico, to make sure children don't wander away from the house, especially in Chihuahua, I guess, Chihuahua. I don't know how you say it in Mexican.
Well, again, I mean, wasn't like Santa Claus also kind of a thing? Or no. What was Santa Claus's evil? Krampus? It was Krampus,
Krampus,
right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of a thing for the Germans to kind of keep the children in line too?
I think so. Yeah. Krampus.
Again,
did you watch that movie?
Legends, right? No.
What a great Christmas horror movie. They need more Christmas horror movies out there,
Yeah, maybe they do. I don't know. So this rickety old bridge, just to kind of move away from Chupacabra, because again, I don't know much about it other than what I've said. This rickety old bridge, this is one of the urban legends that I knew about when I was a kid back in the great state of Oklahoma. This particular bridge is known as the Crybaby Bridge. So story goes is we had a lady that was riding in a horse-drawn carriage. She had a kid with her and was caught up in a storm. And allegedly there was lightning, wind, thunder, spooked the horses. The horses reared back, fell over into the ravine, and brought the horse-drawn carriage down to the creek below. And allegedly, since that incident happened, and of course the kids and the mother died, you can hear women crying and kids crying at night when you cross this bridge. Now, they've taken the story a little further about how women kind of lose their minds and go to this particular bridge and throw unwanted babies off in the river. But yeah, this was like the first urban legend I ever remember hearing about when I was a kid. Like, this was Crybaby Bridge. And I think it's funny because I think that I've heard that Texas has one, Arkansas has one, Tennessee has one.
I saw Big Dog Eat up here. Let me see if I can scroll up and find he's let the Big Dog Eat. Yeah, he says there is a bridge in South Carolina that is called Crybaby Bridge.
Yeah, it seems to be one of those tales that everybody has their own rendition of it. This was particularly, I guess, ours back in Oklahoma. This particular bridge, at least the official Crybaby Bridge, was in a town. It's near a town called Catoosa, Oklahoma, which is in the northeast corner. But, you know, again, it's on an abandoned road. This isn't actually an operational road anymore. You can obviously see all the taglines and everybody going there to get, you know, spray paint or graffiti, just to kind of leave their mark on it. I think, again, everybody has these.
So what's the story here?
Well, that was the story. It's like, you know, allegedly you've got people that, I guess, they hear babies crying at night and women screaming and crying at night whenever you go near or on this bridge, or if you cross this bridge. So there's always activity of teenagers in particular going there at night to see if they can hear the cries. But I've never heard any audio recordings of it. I've never heard. It was really, I mean, I honestly don't think this is even true. Obviously, I think you hear about it from other states that have this same, you know, story, just like what we saw earlier in chat. So, and like I said, I looked it up. There's others in Texas. There's others in Arkansas. Like, every state, I think, has their version of it. I don't know about up here in the Pacific Northwest. I've never heard this up here, but I'm sure maybe Gutters knows. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Gutters must do it. Oh, Gutters is back. What's up, Gutters?
I am, just refereeing.
Refereeing, keeping the kids under control.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. Everybody understands. We're just here. You know, tonight's just kind of a chill night. What's up, Maui Howie? Hey, Lou. Not going to say your last name. Bob Cassidy, good to see you as well. This is me, good to see you. So what do you know about Crybaby, or what is it, Crybaby Bridge?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anything about it.
So the Oregon doesn't have their own version of that. It's basically just a brief summary. Lady and a kid died way back in the 1800s, and now you can hear her crying and the babies crying at night when you cross the bridge. So Oregon or Washington didn't have, or Idaho didn't have any of that.
Oh, it probably did. You know what? I do know of one, and that was, what was the name of that one? Water Babies of Massacre Rocks. And it was, it took place in Idaho. And
where?
In Idaho. And I only say it that way for you.
I got you, thanks.
The Water Babies of Massacre Rocks. It originated in Idaho, and it's the Native American legend that there's a couple different things regarding it. Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
He just wants to join in, tell his own urban legends there.
Right.
He's telling me about the dog because she's out in the kennel and he wants her inside, and I'm like, yeah, no way.
So there is an urban legend about this woman in Oregon that tortures dogs and puts them in tiny little cages, right?
No.
Her name is Gutters. She will come and steal your puppies from you.
Yeah. And she's not a tiny little dog. Let's just be honest. She's a red heeler. And
it's just a tiny cage.
Well, no, it's a kennel. It's huge. I mean, you got to live in it. It's huge. I'm not kidding. It's like 12 by 12.
Yeah.
Big town of Tecumseh. There you go.
Yep, Tecumseh. There we go, Oklahoma. I like it.
So with the Water Babies of Massacre Rock, they actually, there's a couple different places, but one of the most famous places was Pocatello. And they said there was a mischievous or malevolent baby or dwarf-like creatures with some tales placing their origin as drowned Native American babies during a famine. So, and
that sounds creepy.
Mm-hmm. A little creepy.
Yeah, like a weird. Who was? Oh God, what was his name? Who was that guy that was just? Aleister Crowley. Remember, like his mom would even tell him, like from the time he was born, that he was like the devil and the evil and like evil personified.
Was that like the Omen?
Yeah, I mean, I think basically. Kind of like, and big shout out there to Ozzy Osbourne, who just passed away, but like, Mr. Crowley, they always talk about that. That just made me think of that when she was talking about even from a baby being evil,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan as well. We can't, not give that shout out. That really sucked to hear. Hulk Hogan was, Thunder Lips in Rocky 3. So.
Oh, my God.
What a great thing. Good to see you. This is me, Logical Spark. Jesse's in here. I hope you are cleaning well, Jesse. Good to see you. Kill. I'm going to get down to this one. SO's in here. Good to see SO. We have Kilburn. Kilburn says reposted the stream. Much appreciated, buddy. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Vapion in here too. Kim. Good to see you, Kim.
Yeah, appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah, everybody being here. We do appreciate everybody being in here, checking us out. It's fun. We're just having a good time Friday night talking about some weird shit.
Yeah. So this one was kind of what we preluded earlier when we gave our introductions. This was more of the Bloody Mary concept, and I think most people, again, as kids, knew what that was. You say Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror, Bloody Mary appears, and then la-di-da, right? I remember doing this as a kid. Do you guys remember doing this?
I personally never did it. I always thought it was more of like a teenage girl thing. So that's probably why you did it. But
exactly, I was always hanging out with them.
Right, exactly. There you go. Yeah, I personally never did like the Bloody Mary thing. There was something else. I was trying to remember what it was. There was like another thing you could say, look in the mirror and say these stupid things.
Well, it was Candyman. That was what Gutters was
Well, no, it wasn't
to.
that. It was something else, and I can't remember what it was. Gixxer remembers it, yeah.
I think that Beetlejuice, actually, the concept for that actually came from the whole Bloody Mary urban legend.
Beetlejuice did?
Yeah, I think so, because you say Beetlejuice's name 3 times and he appears, and Beetlejuice was actually a demon. And I am not a demonologist of any sort, but I for some reason recall Beetlejuice being mentioned as a demonic figure, and you say his name 3 times, but of course Tim Burton made it into like a I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a comedy, but it kind of was funny.
Yeah, I liked the movie. Did you watch the new one?
No, I didn't give it.
Yeah, I have not seen that either. And I heard the new Happy Gilmore is out as well, and I haven't seen that either. So,
yeah, I don't know what happens if you say Happy Gilmore in the mirror 3 times.
Yeah, what if you say Happy Gilmore in the mirror 3 times? Chubbs comes down from heaven and haunts you,
and then he takes off 8 strokes off your game.
Right, exactly, on Golden Tee.
Yeah. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on a whole Bloody Mary. I think that most people know what that is. So, do you guys want to say anything final about this before I move it on?
Well, I'd like to know, I think Gutters is back. Gutters, did you ever play that, I guess play, it's kind of like a game to me, but did you do the Bloody Mary thing or the Candyman thing or, whatever the heck it was that people did up there?
I never did. I was always a little spooked by that. Same thing with the Ouija board. Yeah, I didn't mess with that either.
Oh, don't get me started on the Ouija boards.
I was too scared.
Dude, Ouija boards are flat out just creepy. Mm-hmm. And where did the concept of that even come from?
I don't know, but it's a bit freaky.
Yeah, it wasn't Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley, yeah, the demon Milton Bradley. We played with one time, a bunch of us did when we were in high school. Of course, it was like Halloween or something, go to the graveyard. There was like this old place with like this witch's graveyard. And we'd go and check it out and do that. And it turned into some freaky stuff, but you look back and you were, 16, 17. Was it your mind or was it, you know what I mean? Like, are you creating that stuff in your mind or... So I really don't know on that. What's up, Pigskin Pete? Good to see you, buddy. And good to see you in here, Andrea. Hey, Andrea, I've been working on your email there. I've been working on trying to figure that out. I'm going to email you back. I actually spent about an hour earlier trying to figure this out. But, yeah, Andrea, I got your email. I'm working on it. And I hope everything is well over there in New Zealand.
Yeah, we got them pouring in.
I know. I like it. I like it. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Yeah, Frankany. This is streaming out live on Twitter, X, whatever, Gutters Pub channel, and over here on Traveling Fools. So, yeah, we do appreciate everybody being here. So what else you got for us?
Well, I'm going to let you take it away.
We're going to talk about Robert the doll. All right, so this is one of the creepiest things. Anybody who's ever been to Key West, so I'm going to, I'm spitballing this, going off memory, kind of what the story was. So if I get it a little bit wrong, nobody critique me on this one. So there was this doll, and there was like these rich people, and the doll was originally made by some, fancy company to be like a mannequin, kind of like selling a product or something like that. Well, anyway, they bought it overseas, brought it back, give it to their kid, and it basically, after the kid had had it about a week, he was calling himself, like the kid's name was Robert, I think, and the doll had its own name. Well, the kid had switched it around and was like, the doll had like taken his soul and he was living inside the doll. Now the thing is, basically they keep it down there in Key West. They keep it, it's like behind this, glass case. And like, if you try to take a picture of it or do anything, and this is the urban legend, that like bad luck will come to you. Like, you have to ask permission to the doll before you do anything. And I mean, I personally know people who have like messed with it and then gotten in car accidents like the next day, and maybe that is, I know my cousin, he was younger and he went in there and did that. And he drove like a day and a half later, he like totaled his car, he's like, God dang, Robert. And he see, all these are letters, like all around. The whole thing is all these letters of apology that people have written and sent there after leaving and not doing what they were supposed to do and having horrible things happen to them. And they're actually like write letters of apology just to get the curse away.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and you look at the thing and it's sitting there and it's like, it's so creepy looking. Like even when you see it in real life, you're like, I just walk on by. I'm not taking a picture of this thing. I don't even want to be here anymore. Just get me out of here.
I mean, it looks like a doll from like the 1800s. Do you know how old this might be?
I want to say, yeah, it was. I want to say it was early 1900s. Is my guess. Early 1900s, something like that. They were really rich people. They bought it for their kid, and it turned into this really creepy doll, though. Really creepy. And it's down there in Key West, and if you ever get down that way, make sure you go to that museum and run by Robert, because don't take his picture without asking him permission.
Yeah, this looks like something you would find in the Oddity Museum in downtown Portland. They've got weird shit in there like this.
Yeah, it's, like I said, I've only walked through there a couple times, and I'm always like, yeah, I want nothing to do with this. It just creeps you out. Like, even when you just see it walking by, it's just creepy as hell.
Do you think that mostly superstitious people are the ones that are writing the letters? I mean, yeah, he's creepy. No, I don't want to touch it, but I'm not going to write a letter to it.
No, but I mean, like, the reason they're writing letters is because they disrespected and horrible things keep happening to these people. And they're like, I guess it's real. Yeah, even Jesse. Yeah, there you go. Robert is real. It's scary. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about then. Yes, 100%. So, that's another urban legend, but that's kind of like the creepiest one that I personally know of. That'd kind of be that.
Well, I know that there's other dolls that have apparently demonic attachments to it. I think Zach Bagans with the guys from the Ghost Adventures has a museum that he obtained one of these dolls. And you know, there's an entire island somewhere. I want to say it's in the Caribbean. I could be mistaken, but there's an entire island full of dolls. Just
we're not talking about
shit.
This isn't going the Epstein way, is it?
No. Jesus Christ, no.
Look what Mishka said. Ozzy and his son Jack visited the museum, and Jack actually purchased a Robert doll that freaked Ozzy out. I'll bet so. Ozzy was he didn't like stuff like that.
He would know.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so they actually sell? Oh, no.
I didn't know. Replicas of the doll? There's no way.
I guess
must
so.
be.
Who the hell would buy that?
I know.
No, and what's up, Mishka? Good to see you. Yeah, who would buy that? I would not at all. And what's up, BFF Wes Robinson? Good to see you.
So has this always been in the Florida Keys, or like was this something that was found somewhere else in Florida and they just happened to relocate it to the Florida Keys?
I'm thinking it was always there. Yeah, I'm not an expert on Robert the Doll. I've just seen it, and then, you know what I mean? We start talking about urban legends, so it's one of those. Yeah, it's kind of like Mishka, kind of like Annabelle, kind of the same thing with the the haunted doll. But I mean, this one really has hit home and freaked out a whole lot of people. So,
oh hell, you could even buy them on Amazon.
I want to send you one
eBay,
for Christmas, Gutters. I'm going to send you one for Christmas.
Don't you dare.
That's what I'll start doing at trivia night. I'll start giving away Robert the Doll.
That is.
No.
You get one of these, Robert the Doll.
You get one, and you get one.
Bob the Doll.
Oh, are you saying Gixxer says they're $2,500? What?
What?
That must be for like a full-size haunted one. You can get your only $2,500, folks. You can get your own haunted Robert the Doll. But wait, if you order in the next 90 seconds, you can be possessed.
Right. He'll ruin your whole life.
Right. Just call now. Oh, shit.
Your ex-wife.
Right, exactly. Yeah, start sending them there. So, moving on. What else you got?
Well, so, at this point, I mean, we can go one of a few ways. I've got some videos that we can watch. I can key up. Some of these, like I said, they're urban legends in my free. Sorry, that caught me off guard.
Hey, you get Mike Lindell too.
Anyways, we've got some of these urban legends to talk about that, I think that they've been debunked, and I'll go through them. But I think the one that was brought up in our pre-production meeting was the Wizard of Oz and the Munchkin in the back. You guys remember watching? Do you know that there's various different versions of the Wizard of Oz that, like the original broadcast version versus the original theatrical version? You can see things a little bit more clear in the remastered version. I kind of have a version of both, so we can watch like what it was originally broadcasted on television in the 1980s, and then I can show you what the VHS versus the DVD version. Obviously the DVD version's clearer, so I think that this whole Munchkin thing might be a little bit debunked, but I don't know. I'll leave it for you guys to take a gander at. So let me get my screen
let's see what you got
here. Yeah. And of course, for copyright purposes, we are not going to have any audio for this. But just a preference, kind of give a little background on this. So, the Wizard of Oz allegedly had one of the Munchkins pass away in this movie, in the making of the movie. And allegedly, it happened while they were filming and didn't catch it, even in the edits. I think that everybody came out and said that this wasn't true. And even though there was a lot of bad stuff attached to this movie, I don't know if you guys know about some of the other stuff that came about, but like Judy Garland was never the same after filming. The lady that played the Wicked Witch, she suffered like third degree burns from that scene where she, gets engulfed in smokes and then kind of disappears. The guy that played the Tin Man, the original Tin Man, I think he was on Beverly Hillbillies at one point. They used aluminum paint, like paint with like aluminum flakes or something in it, and he breathed it in, and it coated his lungs with aluminum, and he was like on set for 10 days filming before he got sent to the hospital, and that he had to drop the role, and then makeup artists came up with a different way to paint their skin silver instead of using aluminum. There was all kinds of weird stuff with this movie.
Yeah, they say it was like cursed. There was like a lot of curses.
Well, I believe it. I mean, just like the Poltergeist movie being cursed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll play this, and I'll try to point out where it's happening at. Let me get this going here. So
yeah,
you'll
you have
notice
to
in the
pay
background,
attention.
I like this.
It's back here in the back right here is where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why StreamYard's being the way it is, but there we go. See, you see it right there. Allegedly, that's the Munchkin hanging. Let me go back and let me slow it down.
Yeah, it's at a certain angle though.
Right.
That
yeah.
you really notice it.
So you'll see it sort of looking like something swinging back there. And I don't know. You can kind of see it moving back there. Like I said, this was the original broadcast of it.
Can
and
you
I think
stop
this is where,
it and then go close up on it?
I don't possess that technology, unfortunately. But I have another video that might show a little bit more details.
Are you saying you have to zoom in to see the Munchkin?
No, come on. We're not shortophobes here.
Yeah, you're right, Mishka. Buddy Ebsen. You're totally right. And what's
So,
that
yeah,
text mess?
That's what that's about. So let me bring up the other view of this, which kind of has a little bit more, I guess, details. And it's kind of got a side-by-side of the VHS version versus the DVD. It's like a side-by-side shot. So it kind of gives a little bit more details that you can see. And then I'll tell you, after doing extensive research and mathematic calculations, I'll tell you what it actually is.
Okay.
So this, again, poor quality. What do you expect? It's it's a movie from the 1930s. But you'll see the side-by-side here. Again, you're looking towards the back. So you can see in this version, you can clearly see something in the background. And in this version, you don't see nothing back there. Keep going forward. And then, okay, so let me slow this down.
You can kind of see it right there, though, whatever it is. I mean,
yeah, that's why I always thought it was fake, because in the one that, like the movie that I actually have, the first one that he showed us is how it was. And then when everybody started talking about this, they came out with this one that showed the definite, person, figure hanging there. So, I mean, there was the big difference between both films. I mean, a big difference. It's not like, oh, okay, well, they just got closer, and no, that's they stuck something in there.
Maybe. And this could have been like, so this version on the right that's the DVD version, and then this version on the left is the VHS version. So
yeah,
you could
so
be
it's
right.
like it's gone in the in the newer one.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, so let's back it up a little bit and kind of I'm playing it at half the speed now. But you'll notice over here you'll see something flicker. Watch that right there. You see that moving?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'll just let it play out a little bit.
But it's not even in the same area. I mean, it's like it's behind the tree.
Yeah. So do you see that right there? You see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they took it out.
No, they didn't take it out. It's just it cleared it up.
Allegedly. So you think that was like something on the film?
No. So, back in the 30s, they did a lot of different perspective, like photography to kind of like, for example, like in Star Wars, they were never really in space. It was like little models, and then they'd have the camera close it up and do all the movie tricks with it, right? So supposedly, that's what this kind of is too. Apparently this background was kind of an edited shot that was moved up close, and they say that's a bird back there.
Ah.
Now you can kind of see it whenever it kind of plays. You see it kind of moving its head around. I think there's a still shot. You can kind of see the outline of wings there. And let me see if I can stop it right on cue. Oh, it didn't do it. So you can kind of see where it popped out and popped back in. Now that I know that it might be a bird, it kind of looks like a bird.
Right.
And it's using some kind of art of perspective photography that makes it look bigger because the background's been, blown up. And yeah, so who knows how this works. The Wizard of Oz,
this
like
is a valid question for you that I highlighted.
Oh, that's fucked.
Hey, so go back to that video though. Look, you can see there's something walking on the path.
Let me bring it back up. Something walking on the path. Where was it at? Let me just go back. You just tell me when to stop.
On the old one.
Uh-huh.
Up to the right.
Oh, to the right over here.
Yeah, it kind of goes across the screen. Just watch.
Watch.
And you got to think, when was this movie filmed? Was it 39?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Was it after they crossed or before they crossed?
Oh, maybe it was them.
Oh, there it went right there, whatever you were talking about. Something went across there.
I think it was them. I think it's their shadows.
Yeah, I think it was. And there's a lot of artifacting. You got to remember, like, they digitized this movie, and as anybody knows, when you take anything from analog to digital, you lose a lot of quality, and then you've got to digitally re-enhance it back in. And so there's a lot of artifacts that kind of show up, and that's just how it works. But who knows? Let other people decide on what they think that is, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know on that. I mean, there's so many different things it could be. Plus, it's what year did you say it was? I said 39, but that might have not have been right. But
no, I think it's the 1930s. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say it was late 1930s. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things, and I mean, there's no way that they, especially back then with budgets and things like that, they weren't perfecting any kind of movie. Like if something went wrong in the background, they weren't going to reshoot it. You know what I mean?
Of course not. And this, I think this was even before the Film Actors Guild and the unions that were created, because they used to mistreat actors all the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Gixxer, I'm shocked the minute of footage wasn't missing. Yeah, 100%. Oh, we keep going back to those jokes. What's up, P Digits? Good to see you too, Esso. I don't know on that one. That's kind of just crazy out there.
Mm-hmm.
What else? You said you had a couple, crazy ones.
I do. So, if we're done beating up the Wizard of Oz in movies, do you both remember the horrific tsunami that happened in Japan in 2011?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So there is a couple different video footages of this white mist that was caught via somebody's camera, and then it was also caught on live TV. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play it and let you guys come to your own conclusions. But I will say I found so I've got the original real footage of it, and then I've got a negative version of it that kind of marks it out clearer. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'll just share my video screen again, and we will. I guess we'll just explore this together.
Yeah, this one, I know what you're talking about here. This one's pretty creepy.
Yeah, and I'm just going to play it in real time, let it play out. But for everybody that is able to watch, you want to focus on this area right here. I don't want to keep putting my mouse over things so that it distracts you, but you're going to want to pay attention to this area right here. And then later on in the footage, you're going to want to pay attention to it right back here. So I'll go ahead and give it a play. And you'll notice the tsunami's kind of coming in, all the debris is coming in. And now you'll notice something. Right, where's that? It should be coming up any moment now. Should have fast forwarded to it. Be a little bit more. Oh, there we go. There it starts right here. Because you kind of see it back here first. Okay, so this is known as the creature of the tsunami. And nobody has any explanation about what it is. Now, this isn't the only camera view that I've got of this. This is what this is the part that kind of gets me a little bit. And you give it a second, it'll pan over. This is that one that you saw last night, by the way. You were correct. I didn't catch it until I found this footage, and it slowed it down.
Yeah, so this thing, what do you think this is? I mean, does this make sense?
I don't know. At first, I thought it was maybe some like air pockets in the ground, and the tsunami was pushing the gas up and making it look like, you know, something was spewing out of the ground.
Spurts.
But I don't know. I mean, just looking at the footage and what happens here.
Keep your eye on that spot, you guys. Here it comes.
Right there. See, there it is, right there. I have absolutely no clue what that is, but it looks like it manifests into some kind of a creature, crawls up the side of that building, and then kind of disappears a little bit. It's kind of crazy.
So it goes there.
I don't know.
And then it's going to...
Yeah, the slow motion really creeps you out right here. Because it kind of like morphs into a figure, and it almost look like it's...
Like it's climbing on all four legs, like a cat or something.
Ah, it is weird.
Yeah. I'll just wait till I show you the other ones.
And what year was this? 2009?
This is 2011.
11? Okay.
Yeah. He was clearly using the iPhone 2.
Yeah, and there's different angles of this too, right?
Yeah. So I have a couple other angles of it, but I just want to kind of play this out so people can kind of wrap their head around this, because you'll see it later on jump to the other side of the buildings. Now, again, the footage, this is just of some guy that was kind of trying to escape the tsunami, that was kind of filming from a balcony, right? Because I mean, look at that. That's horrific. You know, who would ever want to be stuck in that? Oh my God. Hell, some of that debris washed up on the shore here in the Pacific Northwest. All right, so here we go. It's moving to higher ground. Did you see it just then?
Have you ever talked to anybody that's been in a tsunami?
Do it again. There it is. So watch, right behind that taller building, the brown one to the right. Yeah. Right.
Have y'all ever talked to anybody that's been in a tsunami?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember talking to people when we were on COPP, and I think it got wiped out in like right around there, maybe early 2000s, something like that. And, you know, like half the island died, you know, and it was absolutely horrific. And talking to the people who were there when it happened, and, you know, they've all lost family. I mean, it was really weird, you know, the conversations having with those people.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, it's, I mean, I can only imagine the devastation that their lives went through during that period of time. You know, they always talk about the Cascadia tsunami event that could happen up in the Oregon, Washington, Northern California area. I mean, you hear about it up here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Right. So let me move on. Let me grab the other clip real quick. So this is actually to help you kind of see it a little bit better. Somebody went through and added the negative effect to it. So, you know, basically it's the, you know what a film negative is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to see. And it's only a minute 42 on this one, but I'm kind of fast forwarded through some of it. But you'll, again, it's the same angle, same footage. We'll just play it here and you'll see it a little better now, because now it's a negative. You'll see it crawling up the side of that building. It's just crazy. Yeah, you see it back there.
Yep.
That's where it first came out.
Bounces up.
Yep. And then he's going to pan his camera around. just kind of taking in the shock and awe factor of what's going on. And there it is again. Does that just, I mean, it's just creepy. I mean, it's probably something very explainable, honestly. But it's still fun to like wrap your head around. So I was like, wow, what was that?
Yeah, what was that? I mean, it is creepy to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you see it do it again behind that building.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's obviously the same type of thing. Gixxer said, well, could it be a whale spout? That's the first thing I thought when I first seen it.
Well, I don't think a whale's going to be in that shallow of water, though.
Well, I don't know.
Tsunami, you don't know. I mean,
yeah. Well, here's the deal, though, is I don't think that the shape of the water would change so much like it does.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Normally the water, if you see a whale spout, it just kind of dissipates. It shoots up and then kind of dissipates out like a fountain. And
well, it would come back down. It wouldn't keep going up.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm no whale specialist.
Right there it is. Right there. Just I got it slowed down as slow as I possibly can.
I feel like I'm watching Aladdin.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, just, like I said, it's one of those things where it kind of looks like it morphs into some kind of a four-legged creature and crawls up the side of the building. But see, like if it was doing something like what you said, like a whale spout or something, like why it just looks like it moves all at once in the same direction. You would think that way the water's moving, that it would leave a trail.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You would think so.
You would think so. But yeah, that's... Oh, man, it's crazy stuff, right?
Kind of creepy.
It is.
Yeah,
so
it will make you kind of, freak out a little bit.
Yeah, so I have the live news footage of this happening, right? And here's the crazy thing. It shows even more details. Like this creature, this isn't the first time it was filmed. So this is what adds like the whole like substance to this whole thing, because this wasn't the first camera that caught it, and it wasn't from like a person on the ground. This was from the helicopter. It's
yeah, this is the one that, because okay, it's one thing if it's one altered image, you know what I mean? You can alter something once, somebody could add something in there, but this is what I like is that you actually got another take on it from a different like live coverage, and it's there as well.
Yeah. Well, and this one's a little bit even. I don't know. I'll play. You decide.
We report. You decide.
You see that streaking across the ground?
Yep.
Yeah. What is that?
It's a sperm.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Kind of what it reminds you of, huh?
I don't know.
And it doesn't disappear.
No, it just keeps going, right? So this is just the horrific scene of the water coming in. And yeah, you'll just see it start bolting across. Now there's another shot I have of this that I'll show you, but there's also something jumping around in this you don't see. I'll bring it up on the other video.
To think of how many people are in all that.
Yeah. It's horrific. I mean, you almost don't have words, even though what's been 14 years later, it's just so tragic. But yeah, here we go. Here it is. Forming and running.
Look at that water coming in like that.
Right there. It's coming up at the top left corner.
Do you know what the death total was here? I mean, do you know?
I have no idea. I'm afraid to look, to be honest with you. Right there it is, coming across the screen.
So that's that same damn thing that was in,
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Is like, I don't know how this is possible. I mean, is it possible that this is some kind of, again, artifacts that's showing up on the screen? You would think that in 2011 they would have technology to get us past that. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea. That's pretty crazy.
Right. Yeah. So I have. Let me make sure this is the right one before I do.
I love reading the chat. Good to see everybody in there. Anybody watching, really appreciate you being here too. I'm laughing reading the chat. Yeah, I don't know. Crispy says it could be a drone, but I don't know.
No,
no.
Yeah,
not if you consider the first one. If you think that the other one is the same thing as the first one that we looked at, then a drone, it couldn't. I just don't think it could do that. I mean, maybe it could.
We got the shadow people in here. Holy cow. We're all screwed now. What's up, shadow people? I love the name.
I love the logo.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, so let me pull this one back up. Let me share my...
Yeah, Andrea, I don't think it would have been a cat. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. Is this the same thing?
I have no idea. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just different. It was in... So this was in the other footage, but this one slows it down a little better, and this is on RT, so whether or not that's a reputable news source, you decide. I'm not here to talk politics, but yeah, check this one out. This one does a really good job of showing different angles, but you're gonna also see the same creature jumping from debris. It's just absolutely insane. This one doesn't really sell me as much as the other ones do, but you can definitely see it.
I missed it.
Well, just wait. It'll go back through it. This is kind of letting it do my job for me so I can, take sips of bourbon. So you're going to notice it jumping from building to building here.
Yeah, Yamaha Biker, she has that effect on all of them, man.
Okay, it kind of starts right here.
Where?
Yeah, you'll see.
Did you see it, Gutters? I didn't see it.
I didn't see nothing.
Just the suspense is building from this, okay?
My eyeballs are watering from this.
Right.
Oh, you're squinting and looking at it. All right, see it right here. I'll just help you out here. You're going to look right here.
Okay, I thought I seen something.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. See it?
Yeah.
And then you see it jump.
Wow. Go back.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, go back. I didn't see it.
And you see it jumping again and jumping again.
Oh, wait,
and
there it
jumping
is.
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go back.
Here, I'll go back further.
Yeah, I see it now.
So I'll just let it play out. Let you guys watch it. Follow it.
What's that beer in Backroads?
You think it could be a mouse? I mean, mouse as in, on a computer where somebody's...
No. No way.
Well, what do you think it is, Baker?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the logical side of me thinks that it's some kind of a, gas line that broke and it's just shooting up water over the area as the water's moving over it. But I don't know.
It reminds me of a cat.
It does remind me of a cat too. But it's like, I don't know. Like I said.
Because watch how it jumps.
Yeah. What's interesting is that, you
see it
jumping around.
It does kind of run like a cat.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but I mean, that's a big cat if you look at it
if it's the same thing, so we're looking at it like that. That's not the same thing that we saw before if it's a cat, because that other thing wasn't a cat.
No, and I
agree.
I don't think so either. But what I find interesting about the entire, tsunami thing is that you saw this on different cameras in different locations. It was like there was multiple of these.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, and that's kind of where I look at that. That could have been a cat. Is that the same thing we saw before? I don't know. I mean, looking at that one, yeah, that definitely could have, it did move like a cat.
Yeah, it did. And I'd be curious to see what chat says about this. I know there's got to be other people that's seen this. I know I can't be the only person that's ever seen this.
No, I've never seen it before. I mean, until you showed it to me last night, but
Right. Well, I didn't show you these other ones, though. I wanted to hold off. And
we just seen the first piece.
Right.
Well, the next two you guys have not seen. Well, you might have, and one of them's got a couple million views on it. And before we jump ahead, I will say, to me, it's a little disturbing. I'm not saying there's anything graphic that shows, but if you get freaked out easily over noises, it's a little perturbing. But we're gonna play it with the sound on, so you guys can hear it. Hopefully, it's loud enough and it comes in through loud enough for chat. So, yeah,
he's waiting for a clown to pop up.
Let's see.
We could probably make that happen.
Are you scared?
There's your clown.
All right, so what do you think? Japanese tsunami cat, gas main break.
I don't think they were the $6 million man exactly. I don't think that was. I think what we were looking at there at the end isn't the same thing that we were looking at before.
Me either.
I think that
right
there was probably it. That looked like a cat.
You could be right.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to say one way or another. I'm not like definite like no, this is what it is.
Right,
no, those like the first one could have been something different. This last one could have been. But what I don't understand is that white streak that's going across the field, going at what seems to be the speed of light.
Yeah, that one made absolutely no sense. I have no idea what that was. And that was the same. Like those two, I can, like, you see the one going across the field and you see the one climbing up. Those looked identical.
And by the way, how good is the agility of a cat if it is jumping from building to building and not, it's like playing lily pad hop like a frog across everything. It's like, that's one hell of a cat being able to do that.
The one going across, because we've seen drones and who knows how long they've been around. But because we've seen the drones and we've seen how quick they can flash and move around in the sky, I do almost wonder if that's what that white streak was. But the one that goes up the side of the building, that one I'm completely clueless. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you think about, even if you were to think about a gas line, it's not going to come out white. And if it's water, it would not have fallen like that. It changed form.
That first thing, I have no idea what that is.
I don't know. I just remember when I first saw it, I was like, what in the hell was that? It's one of those late nights scrolling on YouTube, and I found it. It was like, oh. And then I was obsessed with like seeing if I can find other video of it,
Well, and then it dissipates. So it's not even like, oh, well, there it goes. No, it just dissipates. It's gone. And then a couple seconds later, you see it over behind another building.
That was weird.
Yes, that was weird. But the other one, I mean, I could kind of go, okay, well, maybe it's a drone or something could streak across there. And then, the one that's bouncing around, that one almost seems like a cat to me.
It does.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that in conclusion of this whole tsunami thing, we don't know. It could be a multitude of things, but it is kind of fun letting your mind kind of wander in that direction. It's like, oh, is there something maybe there's something to this.
All right, we'll bring it up.
All right, so this next clip, again, I just want to preference that to me, the sounds in this is disturbing. It might disturb younger folk. Maybe not. Just throwing it out there because we want to be a family-friendly show. So I just kind of throw it. But there's no cuss words or nothing. It's just a little unnerving. So this particular video is from a security footage of a hotel. And needless to say, I'll just play it and let you guys hear it. I've got it turned up. I hope it's not too loud. If it's too loud, I'll turn it down. Maybe I'll start it a little bit down just in case. But yeah, we'll just play it, and you guys can hear it for yourself. But you can hear the radio conversation between the security guard and maybe the front desk person. And this is all the video footage that they spliced together. So here we go.
What room is that? It's the room right above him. It should be 209. John, do you copy? It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room.
Yeah,
Amy,
looks
he's on
like
his
my
way down
brother.
there right now. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there. Wait 1 second, John. Amy, are you there? Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too. But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct?
Yeah, I'd be
just
like,
wait.
screw that.
We're going to get a hold of the police. So, I would wait for the police, John. Amy, John's going to enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on.
John don't give up.
Yeah, there's no way I'd go in there. You see that
No.
little mist walk out?
John?
Yeah, what was that?
Some
John, are
kind
you
of
there?
mist. And I have no idea if this is actually real or
Okay,
not. This,
Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind.
Me calling
He says no one's
Ghostbusters.
in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary. I'm officially freaked out now.
Yeah, that was weird right there.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. It is freaky.
What's up, Miss Scarlett? Good to see you. Hey, Maven, good to see you as well. Rain in here. Good to see you, Rain. Yeah, that was... Are you replaying that right there? Baker?
He done did left.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Baker. We can't hear Baker anymore. I see his mouse moving around now.
sorry.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry. I had somebody walk in my room just a second ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have no idea if this is real. I'm backing it up a little bit. But you guys will see a little mist figure kind of come out through this little area here right after. You'll see this light will blink. But I have no idea if this is real. There's millions of views on this. Could it be real? Sure. Could it be fake? Absolutely. Who knows? But it's still kind of scary.
Amy, John's gonna enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one.
Sorry, right there. You see it?
Yep.
Well, that was weird. Yeah, you see it better that time.
Yep.
John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind. He says no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary. I'm officially freaked out now.
So
We're getting
Could
a
be a
lot of
hoax.
mix. We're getting a lot of mix from the chat here. We're
Well,
getting
I would
hoax.
say hoax, but if you see that white, will you go back to it again?
Let's
There
do
it
that
is.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
So when you see that I mean, that it's a little. I guess you could replicate it, but.
Oops.
Yeah, you could definitely, do, replicate anything.
Right. But I mean, the thing is, and it could be fake as hell. Outpost Nerds could be correct. Crispy could be correct. It's a hoax. I don't know. But I just wanted to show it and get your guys' reaction since I kind of felt like it fit the theme a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you'll see it. I slowed it down so you can kind of watch it. There you go.
What's up, Hakuna? Good to see you. Hope everything's well in your world. Haven't seen you around in a while. Good to see you, Hakuna.
Yeah. So, again, I want to ask you guys this, and then I'll start with you, Gutters. Do you believe in the paranormal? She might have walked away again.
Yeah, Gutters is muted. So I think that means she's taking care of the... good to see you, Queen Fool.
I don't see when she mutes, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she can't tell. Yeah, that was her little plan there. And good to see you, too, Mr. Duggar. What's up, Bubs? So you want to go on ahead and go to me?
Yeah. So have you ever had any kind of, paranormal or poltergeist encounters in your life, or something you can't explain?
Yeah, I've had things I can't explain. Would they be necessarily paranormal? Like, I don't know. Like, you can't explain it. So obviously, if you say, things you can't explain, how do you explain it? But I believe that, definitely the definite possibility, my mind's not closed to it, kind of like aliens or anything like that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested from a religious standpoint, different religions have different, thoughts on it. Like, Catholics, do believe in the whole demonic things. I think that there are evil spirits in this world. Whether or not it's to the point where an actual exorcism helps, I have no idea. But, there are some unexplained things that I've experienced in my life that I'm like, God dang. But I'm a rational person. I try to rationalize it beforehand. But when you see like mist figures like this, I've, heard different audio clips in my life that you can kind of hear somebody say something. It's like, but is that your mind? Is that your brain trying to interpret what you think it might be versus it's just a bunch of noise that your brain's trying to make reason out of? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. What do you think? Do you believe in it?
In this one, I'm going to say I don't believe in it because it was too well put together, as far as like the footage was concerned. But they did a good job of making it seem realistic. That's my opinion. So I'm leaning more towards the hoax side of the thing. Like I said, I didn't know if it was true or not. When I first saw it, I was like, ooh, that's creepy. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning with chat a little bit with it being the hoax.
Yeah, I think that it does seem too perfect. You know what I mean? Like that just seems, the different angles, the editing, everything about that. It does. But you were speaking like biblically. I mean, even biblically, like aren't ghosts and stuff? I'm not as a Catholic, I've only read the Bible once. I'm not one of those, people who can quote every chapter of the Bible. But, doesn't the Bible even speak of things of ghosts and stuff like that?
Well, I think that it does. And I think that I think that there's references to this, but this kind of leads down different paths for me because, like people that takes DMT swears up and down they see stuff, it's like, well, are you seeing things or
are you taking DMT?
Experiencing things? Yeah. Well, but I've seen studies, and don't quote me where I've seen them at, but I've seen studies where people take DMT together and they experience the same thing. So it's like, are you guys feeding off each other's energy, or are you just making up the stuff together? I have no idea. But the point that I guess I'm trying to make is that I guess we don't know, but there seems to be a lot of evidence that points that there is something there that is paranormal that we can't see, like poltergeist activity. I've heard several stories from people about objects moving without them being around. Of course, it could be one of those cases where object like a cup moves and you weren't touching it kind of thing. And then you find out, well, yeah, because it had ice in it and condensation formed underneath it and the table was slightly, unbalanced, so it kind of slid a little bit. It's like, oh, things are easily debunked, but then there's other things like these, random myths that pop up, or you might see some kind of a shadow figure. I think we've talked about that in the past on our past episodes of shadow people.
Right.
There's
we got one in the chat.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
we've got a shadow people in the chat.
Yeah,
what do you think,
there's
Gutter?
A lot of,
Ask Gutters your question now. She's back, so take advantage of it while she's here.
Well, so Gutters, what do you think? Do you believe in paranormal? Do you believe in? Have you ever had any kind of paranormal experiences?
I do believe in it. I do.
Do you believe in this particular video though?
As you guys explained, and as I listened to you guys, I kind of have to agree with you. It's kind of it's too put together. Everything's too perfect. So
regardless, it's still kind of creepy.
It is. Whoever did it did a good job. If it is a hoax, they did a good job.
I agree. And the thing is that the events that happened in this particular video, it seemed like things lined up too perfectly. If you watch other ghost type videos, that are supposedly real, it's more slow going. You got to catch it. This was like all at once. There's a lot of activity all at once. And then I think the thing that made it kind of fake for me was the light flickering. That was like the camera seemed like it was definitely making sure it was in frame when it did it. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a coincidence. Who knows? But I just feel like this is a little bit of a hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot.
Sorry. Did you ever have any paranormal experiences, Gutter?
I've had a few. One
maybe things you can't explain, kind of thing.
Well, I can explain it quite well, and maybe it's all in my head, but I truly believe that I believe it happened. When my mom passed away, my sister had already died, so I was the last person. So I had to deal with all my mom's stuff, and one of the things that she had that I didn't get rid of, I ended up keeping, and when my washer and dryer went kaput, I put hers in our house. And after I got it down here and put it in, I put the first load of clothes in, and my mom was a huge stickler for not overloading her wash machine. And she kept really, really good care of her stuff. And so I put probably, 8 pairs of jeans in it right off the bat. And just about the time I put the 8th pair of jeans in, I felt my mom had a habit of smacking you on the back of the head, and she'd do it like just like that, thunk thunk, and it wasn't hard, but it was like just to get your attention.
How was that again?
So it was just like she was just trying to get your attention, like pay attention, like hey, halfway, So just about the time I put those pants in, on the back of my head, I felt that. And I went, I'm telling you what, I could not get from the laundry room to the kitchen quick enough where everybody else was at. I'm like, Mama, don't be doing that shit to me. I know it was my mom, and I truly believe she smacked me in the back of the head. So I went back out, and I ripped out 2 pairs of jeans, and then decided I probably better rip out one more just in case, because I was afraid she's going to hit me again. But personally, that is like one of my biggest things that has happened. And that was, my mom had only been gone, I don't know, maybe 3 months.
It's interesting you say that. I hear a lot of people that do believe in paranormal activities saying that when they have experienced it, that it always is something attached to a loved one or a former, like, I guess loved one, but I'm trying to say it in a delicate way. And it's interesting you say it in that perspective. I mean, like I said, I've had things that's happened to me. I try to rationalize it as something else. It's not that I'm not a believer. It's just, sometimes things happen that are so crazy. It's like, no way.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I do believe in the possibility it's like aliens or anything like that. Real quick before we go any further, you want to go ahead and drop the link here and see if anybody else. We're like an hour and 20 minutes into this. Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any other videos you want to show, Baker, or is that it?
I have one more. It's not super duper long, but it's over the number stations.
Well, cool. We'll bring bring that up. Tell us about that, and I'll go ahead and drop the link. We will bring like one person up at a time so people can tell their stories and not have a bunch of people talking over each other. I do like it that way. It's so much more peaceful. But if anybody does want to come on and give us their thoughts or anything like that, you're more than welcome to. So I'm going to drop that link right now. And Gutters, you can do the same over there on yours if you would like to.
Done did it.
Done it. All right, what you got for us, Baker?
So, kind of preferences, and this is something that's been proven to be true. Okay. Number stations are what are believed to be encoded radio broadcasts that throw out a bunch of different numbers, and allegedly sleeper cells can listen to it and get their instructions via a one-time coder key. And then that's that, right? So there's been several of these number stations that have operated and disappeared over time. I'm going to let you guys listen to some of these, but most of the radio dorks in this world, ham radio operators and stuff, they know about these because they tune into them all the time. They're down in the lower frequencies, like the kilohertz level. So I'll just play a couple of these, but these are some of the more well-known ones. But these, like, if you kind of put on your spy caps a little bit and your whole government, like this is how the government operates in the dark op world. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, this used to be a conspiracy theory, which has now become conspiracy facts. So here we go. Stuff became, I think it became, it was top secret type classification, but it's been reclassified as of recent. Yeah,
this is kind of weird. We already got I don't want to shit on this or anything. We already have two people in the back. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, this isn't going to be super duper long. Just wanted to kind of play some of the weirder, more like what the heck is going on here. Like I said, some of these are still in operation. So you'll get some of these, right? And the one that I wanted to kind of get to, so I don't keep people waiting. But yeah, this one's the this one gets me a little bit. So yeah, I think you kind of get the idea of what these number stations are about. And like I said,
they're still how they knew my pin to my debit card.
Right. Damn it!
What the hell's going on here?
This buzzard one, it's been renamed MDZHB. This one's the one that's still active today. You can, if you've got the receiver, you can still tune this in, but it's kind of annoying, but I'll just play a second of it. This is still in operation. In fact, it changes. And when the Russians went to war in Ukraine, it changed. And there's an audio clip of it. Right. So, yeah. Anywho, number stations. Those, like I said, it was conspiracy theory, became conspiracy fact.
Yeah, that's pretty
The
crazy.
government never wanted to classify these as actual stations because I think the U.S. government was also using it because it's kind of low tech, right? They use analog to transmit this information out. You know, they say about analogs like unhackable, right? Well, kind of is, kind of isn't. But in this case, you know, they were able to encryptically talk to whoever needs to listen to it and get their message across without fears of anybody else figuring out unless they've cracked the decoder, which there was only one, you know, number code in existence when this was going on. So
that's crazy.
Definitely something. And like I said, you can still, there's a list online you can go look at for known number stations. That particular one, the Russian Buzzard, that was the Russian radio station. Again, when the Ukraine war broke out, an hour after Putin declared war on it, the station changed and it started sending out instructions, and it hadn't done that in months. Yeah, so
well, let's see.
That's all I've got.
Super interesting. Yeah. Well, let's see. We've got a few people back here, you know, wanting to come on and give us their thoughts. So, without further ado, let's see what they have to say. We have Outpost Nerd coming up on here.
Hey guys,
how you doing, man? Not exactly sure who you are. I just want to make sure cover our butts here. No, don't take any offense to it. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm on the skeptical side about that hotel one, honestly.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
I think Baker, it was you that said that the shots were set up too nicely. His reaction was not what I expected. Not how I would react. I would be crapping my pants and running the other way.
I wouldn't have even gone in. They were like, "Do not enter," and he's like, "Oh no!" He just walks right in the door, you know.
And one point I made in chat: there's no shots or proof of what he said going on inside in that video. So I'm like, eh. And two, he said when he walked in, he said the shower was on.
Yeah.
So I
like your comment. Why is your pin the same as my luggage code?
That old Mel Brooks baseball joke.
Right.
But I had to kind of experience that Gutter had with her mom, with my grandmother. A few years ago, I'm walking into the grocery store and I see the pastor of my old church. Did not like the man at all. And he waves, big wave for me. And I just act like I don't see him. So I walk through the very first aisle and I literally hear my grandmother, who's been dead since 2006. I hear her use my full government name like she was standing right behind me. And she looks at me and says, "Boyd," it's like she's saying, "Boyd, that is not very Christian-like." And I have to say, like, "Yes, ma'am, I know." And I ran out and talked to him. It came out good, but my grandmother had a interesting, I don't know if you'd say, a ghost experience. I mentioned this in chat a little bit. My grandfather died in like 76, and they were married for 20, 30 years. She said that the night, I can't remember if it's either after his funeral or after he died, she was laying in bed and he walks in and sits down on the end of her bed. She swore to the day she died she was not asleep, and she felt like the bed move, and he was sitting there just smiling at her and nodded his head, and she knew then that he was in heaven. He was finally at peace. So
that's interesting.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's interesting. I've heard other family members tell me kind of a similar story after their significant other passed. And
yeah,
it's interesting you say that because I've heard this before, and just hearing you say it, I mean, I completely I believe it.
Well, you know, I'll tell you something funny, not to butt in, but like Mrs. Fools and I, we were sitting in here before the show, and we were, I was setting this up, going through some other stuff. We were looking for some flights, and we were talking about, just kind of having the conversation about, people passing, people, just the recent stuff that's happened in our lives, And right there outside on a branch, right outside the thing, there comes the red cardinal came. Just boom, lands on the tree branch right outside our house. Like we're sitting there on the back porch with the door open, and here we're having this conversation. And, they always say the red cardinal is somebody coming to, visit you. And right there, here comes that red cardinal, sits on a tree. It was like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a couple that show up. So I've lost all my grandparents, and I have probably about 3 or 4 that show up. So I sometimes think like, are they checking in on me? And I believe I'm a Christian, and I believe, and to be a Christian, you kind of have to believe in both the angelic and the demonic. They're two sides of the same coin. You can't believe one without the other, in honesty.
Right, you can't have good. Good doesn't exist without bad.
And you were talking about one of you mentioned it in the Bible, and my mind automatically went to King Saul when he went to the Witch of Endor about David, and she summoned the prophet Samuel, and Samuel said, "You've taken me out of heaven for something so trivial. You're gonna die the next battle you're in." And he died the next day in battle, and then David became king. So
right,
I'm skeptical. I wouldn't say I'm an unbeliever in the paranormal, but I'm a skeptic. I'd like to know. I have to. What's the word I'm looking for?
You'd have to see it with your own eyes. Yeah, like right there in front of you.
And make sure it's nothing else before I say, okay, it's this. It's
right.
This.
And that's
the word I'm looking for.
That's kind of what we like to do over here is kind of look at things and see, like we're not saying any of these things are real or anything like that, but we're just putting stuff out there and being like, hey, let's talk about it. It's fun. Yeah,
It's like, have y'all ever seen that? Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, it definitely lets your mind muscle think the other possibilities, and that's what I like. I like to do these thought experiments, like, well, what if this is really true, or what if this happened, or just like, I think aliens probably exist. There's no way you can tell me that we're the only species in the entire universe that's vast, that our minds can't even comprehend how big it is. You can't tell me we're the only ones. And I think that the government probably knows it, and if they were to let the truth out, it would be like a societal collapse. Religion would go away, kind of thing. And then,
well, see, I'm going to push back on that, Baker. Like, like even not to, being a Catholic, not to toot the Catholic thing, but the Catholic Church was the first one to come out and say, which they might know things, we all know that, was the first one to come out and say that definitely the possibility does exist that there are more. And I don't see why that takes away from faith or anything like that. I mean, if you believe in a God, you believe in his unlimited possibilities, why would he only have created one? You look at the universe, I mean, there's more stars, in the sky than there are grains of sand on the earth.
Sure.
How do you look at that and logically say that it's impossible for life not to exist out there? That you would just be irrational if you thought like that,
Yeah.
It's like, have y'all ever seen that show Skinwalker Ranch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That don't get me started with that.
Well, I'm just curious, like, what causes these things? That this is what I want to. They're always putting paranormal or extraterrestrial things on it. My thought is there's probably something in the ground, like rocks, minerals interacting together. That's what I need disproven before I can believe in the paranormal aspect of it.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah,
I got you.
But, so I have to, like, it's like what Sherlock Holmes says, when you disprove everything you have left is the fact. It's true, or what? I can't. There's a word.
Right, I know the saying you're going for too. Now I'm confused. Yeah, but I know what you're saying there. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and what a guy writing that stuff.
I love Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, my dear Watson. You got anything else for us? I got to move. I got
no.
waiting here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, anytime, every Friday night we're doing this over here. Make sure you check it out. Call in, give us your thoughts anytime. We love having people call in and tell us what they think about it. So we appreciate you doing it.
I follow Gutter. I just sent you a sub traveling fool. So
cool.
Keep an eye
Thanks,
out.
man.
All right,
Nice.
talk to y'all later.
All right, buddy. We will see you soon. All right, so who we got coming on over here? Who is this person?
Is it me?
It is you. It is you.
It
How are you tonight? Yeah.
It's me.
By the way,
we can tell by the laugh.
I have I didn't know that the red cardinal, that meant that people were coming to visit you from. I didn't know that story. That's my state bird.
Oh, well, there you go. You probably get a lot of visitors.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't like birds that much, but anyway, I was
they're
gonna
not real.
Oh, yeah, birds are real. But anyway, I was gonna tell you that when my husband passed away, right? And it was like he was on life support, and so it was about 4:00 in the morning, and they were coming. The team were coming to harvest his organs, right? And so before they were coming or whatever, I whispered in his ear and I said, okay, now you have to tell me it, or you have to wake up. And I was like, you have to wake up right now because they're coming to take your organs. So if you're in there, you need to wake up right now. Tell me, send me a sign. And then I remember my mom always used to say that, like, ghosts play with coin, like pennies from heaven, that kind of thing. She always said that ghosts are mischievous. So that video that you just showed, that is something that a ghost would do. They're mischievous, like turn the water on and turn the furniture upside down, that kind of thing. They'll open up all the cabinets, just mischievous stuff. They don't do anything to harm you, but they'll just do stuff like that or whatever. But anyway, I was telling him, I said, now, when you get to wherever you're going, and I go, let me know that you're okay. I said, send me some pennies from heaven. I said, in fact, send me quarters. That would be better. And I was saying that to him or whatever. Well, anyway, I got home, like, I cried my eyes. They do this honor walk where everybody stands up, and it's really nice. The whole hospital, everybody stands, and they walk him down to, like, where they're taking him or whatever. And I'm all by myself, and I was crying so hard. And I got in my car, and I just sat there and sobbed for, God, maybe about an hour and a half, right? I get home and I just want to, like, wash the hospital off of me. And so I go to get into the bath. I go to turn on the bath water and take a bath. And there is a penny in my bathtub. That was like the craziest thing ever. A penny in my bathtub. Then, like, another time.
Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, you get in it's one thing, like, to find a penny in your couch
right,
cushion or
right.
something
But
like
in
that,
your tub?
Yeah, you normally don't get in the bathtub with your clothes on.
Right. I never have seen anything like that happen before. I cried so hard.
Then, sorry that happened to you, though.
Thank you. I'm sorry about it too. But then another time I woke up and there was a penny on the pillow next to me. That happened. And then another time I was, like, talking to somebody, texting with somebody, and I felt like a coin, like, fly across the room, and, like, it hit my nightstand. I'm like, what the hell was that? So I thought it must have just fallen off, or I don't know. I just kind of ignored it. And then the next thing, I felt another one, and it came flying. It was a quarter, and it hit me. Somebody was throwing coins at me. I swear to God. Nobody was here.
Now, where were you? In your home?
Yeah, my home. Yeah. And I was all by myself. And somebody threw a coin at me, like, hard, like pay attention. So that happened. And
was it
then,
at least a silver dollar?
No, it wasn't. But it was a quarter, like I said. and then those two things happened. And then another time, like he always would he loved my feet, and he always would like grab my feet, like just always would like, you know, tug on my feet if I was sleeping or something. He would like walk by and tug on my foot and say, wake up, it's time to wake up, whatever. Well, anyway, I was like sleeping kind of, and I was just sort of waking up, and somebody tugged on my foot, and nobody was here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was awake enough to know that I wasn't dreaming it or anything like that. And I love like he comes in my dreams sometimes, and we have these just like I always think they're like a date, you know. We have these date dreams. Sorry. These date dreams, and they're so nice.
Well, don't apologize. Don't say sorry.
But anyway, that was like the craziest thing, you know. That the penny in the bathtub was the wildest thing.
Yeah, that would absolutely freak me out. I mean, you know, because like I said, it's one thing to find one and you just see to your car or in the couch cushion, you know, something like that. It fell out of your pocket, but yeah, nobody gets into the bathtub. Well, at least, I mean, most normal people. I don't know. I'm assuming you're normal.
Yeah.
You know, that you don't get in there and, you know, fully clothed into the bathroom.
No, and I don't put change in my pants either, you know, like where I would put, you know, if I took off my clothes and change would fall off.
Who wears pants?
I try not to. But you know what I mean? Women don't generally, we put money in our purse. We generally don't have it in our pockets, you know, either. But that was just crazy that it was in my bathtub like that. And I just couldn't believe it. And I had just said that to him, you know. But I had said, after he like grabbed my foot, I made like the worst mistake ever. My mother used to always say that you're supposed, like, ghosts are, you're supposed to tell them to go home, that they don't live here anymore. You're supposed to tell them that you know, because they're like lost or whatever, and you're supposed to say go home. Yeah, you need to pass on, and that it's okay, you're okay, and that you need to pass on. Well, I said that. I said that to him, and then he's not been back since. And I wish I would have never said it. But I said it because I thought I was supposed to. And then I haven't had anything happen since.
But it's probably better. I mean, I know, like, you know, it's sometimes with, and I don't mean to sound, you know, I can't put myself in your shoes. I can't put myself in your shoes in that situation. Yeah. But it is probably better off for them. Yeah, you know, a lot of times everything, you know, like selfish reasons, you know.
Right. I want to be selfish, though. Like
Right, of course, everybody.
I didn't even think it would work, you know, I guess. Like, I didn't think that was even, I don't know why I did it, but I guess I just didn't even believe that would work, but it did. Now, my brother, listen to this, though. My brother lived in a haunted house. He lived in this house, and it was in Kentucky, and it was this big, beautiful, it's almost like a mansion, one of these old, it was an older home, and and he was renting it because he was only there for a short time, and he couldn't believe how cheap the rent was, you know, and it was right on the river. And it was just a gorgeous place. We used to go down there and party all the time.
Isn't that always the telltale sign, like in every movie? When you're like, they're like, oh, but it's such a good deal. You know, like, oh, this is great. It's only, you know, this will only be $300 a month for this mansion. Like, wow.
Right. That's exactly what it was.
The neighbors are all like watching you drive in your moving truck, and they're all coming out looking
The Conjuring.
at you. Right, exactly. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. But.
No, that's okay. But that does remind me of The Conjuring. But it was this great, big, beautiful home, and it was on the river. And every year there's a fireworks show that's on the river, and we always would go down there and party and stuff. And it was great. It was a great party house too. So anyway, my brother's like he's well, first of all, he works for the Secret Service, so he's like he's real fanatical about everything. Are you there? Uh-oh.
No, we're experiencing audio difficulties.
Oh, no.
We hear you.
Oh, I was like, I lost you guys. Hold on. Whoops. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So anyhow, when I he's just really like everything is always just perfect, like military style perfect, and he had a roommate and stuff, but he said that like he would just come home and all the kitchen cabinets would be opened, his drawers would be opened all the time. There would be sometimes he would be sleeping and a penny would fall from the ceiling, that kind of shit. And he's also like he doesn't believe in conspiracies whatsoever. He thinks it's all bullshit, whatever. And we kept saying that it was a ghost or whatever. So he went and he looked up. He went in to like the historical district or whatever, and was like looking up this house, and he got a hold of somebody that used to live in that house. And apparently there's been a zillion tenants over the years. And he gets a hold of some of them. I think like 2 or 3 of them, I think. They all said the same thing, that it was haunted. They had the exact same stories, that the cabinets would open and, blah, 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 the whole thing. So, and I guess like somebody had died in that house, and I don't know. And that's the end of the story. But
so you think that when, maybe not you specifically, but in general, like when somebody passes on, do you feel like their energy is still left behind, and that's possibly like a shade of what they were, and like that's what we're experiencing?
I don't know. I don't believe in that ghost hunter like device thing, like where it's like beep 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 beep, and they're like, there he is. That's it. There's a cold spot.
Yeah, they're checking the magnetic field.
Yeah, they're out there like the person from Canada on the beach in South Florida with a metal detector walking around.
Right.
It's
well,
like,
I mean, there is some science behind it, as far as why or how they came up with that. But you're right. Like I think it's kind of bullshit too. Just like they use those spirit boxes.
Oh
and all
my God.
All they're doing is sweeping the white noise inside a frequency. And depending on where you're at, I think you're catching interference from a radio station. If you want to make me believe it more, go down into a cave like 100 feet down where you can't receive any kind of radio signal, and then do it. And if you get something, all right, maybe I'm a little bit more believable, but I don't believe in that stuff.
And the other thing is why don't they ever turn the lights on? Like, see, when that guy went in the hotel room,
he didn't turn it on.
Yeah.
So I can explain that one. So allegedly, the reason why they do that is so that they can take pictures in a full spectrum, like a full spectrum camera. So it covers, all the visible light waves that we can see in a picture. And allegedly, that's where spirits are able to be detected. There's some kind of anomalies that you can catch on your camera. If you have the lights on, it will interfere with that. That's why they do that.
Well, cops do it too. Cops don't turn on the lights either. They always have their flashlight. And I don't understand that.
Did you get this info from Misdemeanor Molly or?
No, but I watched all those cop shows, and every time that, they go looking in a house or whatever, they come in and it's pitch black in the house and they never turn on the light. They use their flashlight. And it's like, turn the light on, damn it. Like, what? I don't understand why they do that. Why they just never ever turn on the light. The cops don't do it, and neither do these ghost hunters.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. Sorry, Riker. Go ahead. No, I can understand the ghost hunters not doing it, especially because they're trying to like do shows, and it's all for clicks, it's all for views, it's all for things. I think most of the things you see on television, stuff like that. I mean, if it's a show and you're called ghost hunters, 99.99999% of the stuff you're doing is bullcrap. It's just a show.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see, speaking of Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, his son Jack has a show called Ghost Hunters or whatever, and there's the craziest thing that happened to Sharon on that show. Did you see it, Baker? I know what
you're talking about. I know the show, but I didn't listen. That show bored the hell out of me. I didn't watch it very long.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
I only watched that part when this happened to Sharon, and I believe it wholeheartedly that it happened. But she she was about they were about to go ghost hunting or whatever, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just like goes into this like trance, and they didn't know what the hell was wrong with her. It was on camera and everything, and they took her to the hospital. And
I mean, she is an entertainer.
She is, I know. She's not an actress.
No, but I mean, she's around actors and actresses. I mean, you know.
I know, but she went to the hospital, though. Like, I mean, they called an ambulance. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's theatrical, in my opinion.
Well,
but
I would
didn't
normally
see it.
think...
You saw it, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I would normally think the exact same thing, because I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in a lot. I don't believe in a lot of this shit, but that I kind of believed it, and it's something I shouldn't have believed, but it was very believable, and it scared the crap out of Jack. Jack was scared, like it scared him to death. You know, he was like, mom, you know, and I mean, they didn't know what was wrong with her, and she just was in like this trance, you know.
Oh wow.
And then like the medics came or whatever, and they were taking her vitals and stuff, and her vitals were all weird. And then they took her to the hospital, and she was telling the doctors, you know, and they ran all these tests, and they said they didn't find anything wrong with her, you know, whatever. But, you know, it scared them to death. And I just saw it was a clip on the Howie Mandel show. I've never seen the actual show. I just saw the clip of it when they played it for Howie, and it was wild. Yeah, you guys have to watch it sometime. It's pretty crazy. So
it's hard for me to believe anything I see on ghost shows, because, like Fool said, they're there for the views. You know, it's just like that Oak Island show.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like that Oak Island show. I lost interest in that about episode 4 because
what was it?
Oh, the Oak Island,
Curse
you know,
of
where
Oak
they're
Island.
looking for that. Yeah. They're, you know, they would hype up the entire season, like we found something. At the end of the season ended up being a fucking nail.
Right.
Yep. I want no part
anything
of that
that's a reality show, anything it's all staged, it's all fake. You know, can't believe any of that. Hey, let's hear real quick. You know, we're closing in, getting close to 2 hours here, but we've had Mr. Duggar been sitting back there for a minute, so I got Duggar up on the line right now. What's up, Mr. Duggar? Welcome to the show, sir. Let me, before you say anything, let me please introduce you properly, sir.
And keep having as many
That's
Duggars
great.
as possible. So it's going to be a Duggar America.
Speaking of scary.
everybody.
yeah.
How you doing, Duggar?
I'm doing well. Y'all talking about how scary ghosts are, and then they got little redheaded son of bitches like that out there. Whoa, she's scary. She's more scary than any ghost, man. You seen her lately?
Yeah, she looks like she
try not
saw
to.
a ghost.
I try not to see her.
Yeah, she scare you.
She needs some conditioner.
On your topics for the night, you know, I've had 2 or 3 real experience, and yes, I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks.
That's a Little Rascals reference right there.
Yeah, I just want to tell you straight up. I was down in South Texas at an old ranch, and I'm talking about a ranch that was established in the 1800s. Seen Indian fights and Mexican War and all kinds of stuff, and they had just this mansion of a house down there, you know, what you'd picture like something from Bonanza or something, you know,
Right.
and I was down there. We were doing, you know, work with their cattle and stuff, and fixing fences for so it could be all, and taking out high fences because the guy didn't believe in the high fencing. That's how I ended up there. Plus, I knew the guy and his family, and so I go in, and he goes, "Don't worry about the, you know, we got through working that night, had supper and stuff, getting ready for bed." He said, "Yeah, don't worry about too many noises tonight." He says, "What is that noise?"
Yeah, it's coming from Crispy's side. I just muted her for a second.
He goes, that's just some of the old people that used to live here and stuff like that. He goes, they don't mean you no harm. I said, okay, you know, they kind of laughed it off. And I had a little dachshund with me and a little pit bully. You know, if you know what that is, little short squat bulldog.
Of course, yes.
And he's the bravest dog ever. And so of course, you know how dachshunds are. He was a male and he wasn't scared of nothing. So I went up to bed and it was like a 3-story place and I was on the second floor. And the top one, I finally came back to know the next day, was what they used to fight from. You know, give them, you know, height advantage when they was coming. But anyway, they put me in this room and it still had them old springs, you know, the great big springs and the real feather mattresses and stuff. It's
that
like
would go in your back.
Yeah. It's like a real old school.
Right, you roll over. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know,
well, you know that, not to interrupt you, but that goes back to the point. Like house guests are like fish. You know, after 3 days they start to stink, so you never want to have like the bed.
Right.
You know,
exactly. But you know, and I was getting out of bed, and literally, I had a candle lamp. They didn't have it wasn't hooked up with electricity up that high. And so I literally had a candle lamp, or, you know, a little kerosene lamp, not a candle, it was a little kerosene lamp. And I went in my room and sat down and got kind of settled, get ready for bed, you know. And I said, my dogs usually sleep with me. He said, oh, hell, them beds seem worse than dogs, you know. And I said, okay, cool. So we went to bed that night, and my dogs, just before I put out the light, I dimmed it a little bit. I was just fixing to turn it on. They both jumped out of my bed and ran over. First, I heard a noise. It was coming from a closet. And I figured, well, it must be a rat or something. And my fucking dogs, they heard it. And they hopped over there, you know, and they kind of started sniffing around the door. All of a sudden, both of them come back just as fast as they could and started growling and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, because I'd stayed up late. Everybody else was asleep, and I could hear something in there, you know. What the hell, you know? But I did have my little 22 with me, so I opened the door in case it was a rat. I was going to plug him or whatever, you know. Dude, this thing was tight. There was no holes in it. There was just a couple of hangers hanging in that son. I mean, there was no mice holes in it. And it sounded like somebody was trying to kick the door from the other side. And so I said, cool. And my dogs, they started growling in the middle of the night.
Dogs have that sense.
They picked up on something, bro. They just growling at me. I finally fell asleep, and all of a sudden they were growling. And they were kind of backing up to me. I go, what the hell's going on? Of course, you ain't got no light to flip on. And so I, you know, I was getting pretty worried up there, you know. And I finally got a match lit and got that damn thing. That's nothing. But dude, you could hear something walking away, literally walking away down the hallway. And I stuck my head out there. There was nothing there. So
yeah, that makes you kind of freak out, doesn't it? It's like,
they had no chance to get to the stairs by the time I got to the door either. And I heard them walking. And, you know, because he'd come up there, he was way down on the other side, and Ronnie, that was the guy's name. He knew all about them ghosts and stuff. So next morning he goes, did you have a visit last night? I said, I don't know if I did or if I didn't. And he goes, I heard him out there walking around last night. I said, dude, I heard him walking around too. And it didn't quit walking when I stuck my head in it, but there was no one there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I could still hear him walking down that hallway, but there was nothing there. I was spooked.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Andrea makes a good point here. So this is kind of a funny joke. And you go back to your story here in a second, Doug. Andrea says, laughing my ass off, I just realized with all this freaky stuff, you have 6,680 whatever 6,000. My numbers right now are 6,666 all the way across the board as far as subscribers. And it was funny, Andrea. It's funny you say that because it was the other day. YouTube numbers will fluctuate. People, I'm going to unsub or whatever. And I saw 6,666, blah 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 the other day, and I was like, oh, Jesus, can I please, can we please move on from this? And then next thing I know, right after I said that, I refreshed it and it went 6,664. And I was like, oh, well, I wanted it to go the other way. I didn't want to go backwards. I wanted to go forward. So, yeah, if anybody could sub up this knot, that would be great. Get us to, the 6,667.
You actually went up to 667, but I went ahead and unsubscribed because I knew it was irritating.
I knew you were the devil, lady. I knew you were the devil.
By the way, hello, Gutters.
Hello, Mr. Duggar.
Hi, Crispy. Baker Snob, what's up, brother?
Crispy might not know. I actually muted Crispy a minute ago because her mic was back feeding. Yeah. You there, Crispy, still?
Hold on here. Yeah, I'm here. Wait.
Okay, you sound better now.
Yeah.
Wait, she don't know.
When you muted me, I was already muted. I muted myself, and then
okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, how am I the problem child? I was already muted.
I don't know. Your little icon was flaring up. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's my oh wait. Oh, here. I'm sorry. I don't have. Okay, here. Let me fix it.
Did you get my email, Mr. Duggar?
No, baby, I didn't.
Okay, well, just when you get done with the show, check it, please. Oops.
And we lost Duggar. So yeah, I think we're right now hitting that 2-hour mark. We already go. We got nobody else back in the back. Well, here comes Duggar back.
Oh, I was gonna tell you guys, if you ever looked in the if you ever looked up the mermaids that wash up, oh my God, they're the craziest things. They're mermaids.
Well, you have
ever
to
seen
call
them?
Wait. You have to call them mer-they thems now.
Mermaids.
That's
Mermaids.
I was going to jump in and make that joke, but I'm glad somebody else did.
Sorry, beat you to it. You got to be fast around here, Baker. You got to be fast.
That's right. The wit over here is fast. But have you ever seen them, Baker?
No, I never grew up near the ocean, so or any kind of body of water.
I didn't see them in person, Baker. I just saw them on the internet.
I thought that's what you were asking me.
No, look them up on the internet and pull them up so our guests can
I
see.
saw that documentary that the Discovery Channel did a couple years ago, and that was kind of freaky. It kind of makes you think.
It's crazy.
I believe in them.
Giant squid.
No, they're not, Mr. Duggar. They've got long hair.
Well, a lot of people put them to, what the hell are they called? The damn water cows. What the hell are they called?
Water cows.
Manatees. Thank you very much. I've got some great videos of manatees that I can't post because it was people watering them, because they love to be watered. And it's illegal, and I'm like, I'm not posting.
Water? What do you mean?
Well, manatees, manatees are mammals, just like dolphins and stuff. And they travel across, through the, salt water, and then they'll go into brackish water, and then they'll go and fill up on fresh water, and then go back to the brackish and go. So they love, if you're at a boat dock washing your boat off, or something like that, they'll love to come up because they want that fresh water. And I understand that it can mess up their, habitat or their, natural cycles. But I've got this great video.
They're thirsty though.
Mama, daddy, and baby manatee all poking their heads out, just drinking out of the water hose. But I can't post it because I'm technically the people who were doing that, I didn't even know the people, but I don't want to put that on somebody.
Oh, you think they'd get arrested?
Well, I don't know if they get arrested, but it's 2025 and everybody.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you, fools.
I'm not going to post it, but it was so cute.
Way to mess up.
Little baby, but poking his head out drinking, because they'll come right up to you with the water hose because they're like, refresh us. We need this water.
Yeah.
And
I would have done it.
So, Duggar, since you're here, I just want to ask you real quick before we end the show. You saw the tsunami videos and whatnot. Do you have anything to say about that? Did you see what we were looking at?
No, I didn't.
I think he came in right after that.
We'll have to.
But I've seen some film on tsunamis and when they came ashore in was it Indonesia or no,
that would have been
there.
the one on Boxing Day, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That stuff happens.
It came way up in there, yeah. So there wasn't no running from it, that's for sure.
I couldn't see what you guys were looking at, but I've got a wonky eye. I couldn't see what it was that you were looking at. But I do remember that guy, that Nate, that was the designer. Gutters probably knows who he was. He was like he was on all the talk shows. He had his own show for a while, on TLC or whatever. His name was Nate. Him and his boyfriend were in that tsunami, and they were stuck on a telephone pole for like 6 hours or 12 hours or something. They were just holding on.
Him and his boyfriend?
Yes, him and his boyfriend. They were staying in like a little, like one of those huts or whatever that was on the beach, and then they got washed out. And oh no, wait! His boyfriend died. That's right, his boyfriend died in that.
I hate to hear anybody die.
Yeah, he died. But Nate was stuck on that, was holding on to the pole. But his boyfriend died. What was that guy's name? I was sure Gutters knew who I was talking about. He was real popular designer. He would teach people how to like decorate their houses. Somebody in the audience will know. Yeah, he was on all the talk shows. He used to be on Oprah all the time.
I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of a man's man, and I would probably have no idea who that was. But, because I don't spend a whole lot of time watching designer shows.
I don't think I've ever watched Oprah in my life.
Right, more Oprah.
You're missing out. That's what's wrong with you.
Are we
Mr.
missing
Duggar.
out, though? Are we?
No, but are we really?
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah.
We're missing out on watching Oprah?
I think I would rather be force-fed The View than to watch Oprah Winfrey.
I told you last time I even thought about watching The View. I sat there and I was at a dentist office, and I walked in there and they sat down and they're like, okay, well, make yourself comfortable and lean back in the thing. The girls were walking up doing this and The View's on in front of me. And I'm like, I don't care. You can keep the Novocaine. You can do whatever because I had to get a filling. I'm like, you can do whatever you need to do. Just turn this off because that is more torture. And they started laughing and they changed the channel to ESPN. I'm like, thank you. Okay.
I agree.
Now drill my mouth.
I agree. I don't like The View either. It's that Rosie O'Donnell ruined it.
Oh, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
They all kind of ruin it together.
They really do. And then they all have, they have, what is it? Like 6 of them, and there's 5 of them are liberals, and then one Republican that's fighting everybody.
It doesn't really seem fair.
Doesn't seem fair at all.
And I wouldn't like it if it was the other way around either. Like if you're going to do a panel of people, you should have 3 on one side, 3 on the other, or 4 and 3, or you know what I mean. But it should be close to being even if you're going to have an intelligent conversation.
I agree. I always felt bad for and then they would always try and make the Republican one. They always tried to make her look the dumbest. And one of them, what was that? That was John McCain's daughter is one. She was on there. I liked John McCain. I wanted to vote for him, but because I really did. I liked him.
Remember, any politic talk can happen on Tuesday nights over at Gutters Pub.
Exactly.
Oh.
Tuesday night politics on Gutters Pub. Make sure everybody is subbed up over there to Gutters Pub.
Hey, Gutters Pub.
We got a lot to talk about too, Gutters.
You know what? I looked up Gutters Pub, and now I'm getting Gutters ads all the time. Gutters ads all the time on YouTube because I typed in Gutters Pub.
Oh wow.
True.
As you should.
I think Gutters must be gone. Gutters has her grandbaby this weekend, so I think she's
Aww.
Every time I see her mute, I think she's putting the grandbaby back.
Nursing. Or not nursing.
Yeah, nursing. Yeah, she's nursing her grandbaby.
She's a wet nurse.
That would be Marvin.
Oh.
Bring me a vodka, bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But
Yeah.
Baker, will you do me a favor and look up that the mermaids really quick and show the people?
Well, we might save that for another show because I think we were going to tie it in with another topic we were talking about.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you have to when you talk to Baker too. You have to be like Mark Levin. You have to be like, Mr. Producer.
Mr. Producer, will you please look up? Will you please look up? I can't.
What?
I was trying to do it. Did it sound good? Did you believe it was someone else?
Oh, 100%. I was actually shocked for a moment. Hey guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds. We're gonna wrap this up here in a minute, but I do have a dog over here scratching the door. I have to let out. Baker, Crispy, Duggar, y'all got this for 2 seconds?
Yes, we're gonna look
All right,
up mermaids.
Yep, look up mermaids.
Oh,
if
we
you want
are.
to.
Yeah.
Well, we can look up mermaids. I have no way to bring it up. Fools is the only one that has that capability.
Oh.
So, but we are gonna do a show on that. We've talked about doing like mythical kind of mythology stuff, like mermaids and giants and
giants.
What is the? Yeah, like there's claims from certain archaeologists that say that before humans roamed the earth, there were giant or there were giant humans or whatnot that roamed. And when they say giant, I think that they're talking like 9, 10, 11 feet tall. They're not talking like 30 foot tall. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, I know that there's those kinds of people. I love little people.
They found those bones in Utah. So
yeah.
So yeah, we were going to do a show about that. And of course, mermaids falls in line with that. So that's all going to be later on. So you definitely need to tune in for that. We don't have all of our material put together for that just yet, but it's coming. I still don't know exactly what we're going to be doing for next week. We are going to be at full capacity next week. I think we are, at least. I think we're going to be at full capacity next week. So we'll have both LW and KJ back. So,
where is LW? Is he hanging with his new friends?
He's on a well-deserved vacation, and so is KJ.
Oh.
Yep, both of them. And luckily, and Gutters, man, she's been super tonight. She's had to kind of wrangle her grandson while she's been doing the show, so she's been multitasking like Wonder Woman would.
Yes, I love Wonder Woman.
So yeah,
I always wanted to be Wonder Woman. I love that outfit.
Right,
I really do.
But yeah. So, anyways, those are going to be upcoming shows that we're going to do. I think tonight, just to kind of wrap things up from my side, I enjoy doing this. This is stuff that I already enjoy, like looking at whenever I can't fall asleep in YouTube, or when I can't fall asleep and I get on YouTube. I tend to try to find something that makes my mind kind of think, and think in different ways. Like I said, I kind of flex my mind muscle or have thought experiments because it's sometimes it's fun to get lost in your own thoughts.
Yeah, don't talk about flexing your mind muscle. It's a family show. We don't want to know about it.
Okay.
Right. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, what muscle is Baker?
He's trying to flex.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I enjoyed showing, especially like Fools and Gutters didn't know some of the stuff I was going to show them, so it was kind of like a shock factor on some aspect. But this is a really good put together show, and I appreciate Fools and Gutters letting me kind of take the reins and do this.
Well, you always do a nice job, Baker.
Yeah, Baker does do a good job.
Yeah, you really do. And I think you do a great job on camera. You're a good producer. I think all of it. Yeah. All good things, Baker. You really do. You do a nice job.
You're going to make the guy blush now. You're going to make him blush.
Well, as long as he's not flexing his mind muscle.
His head's going to grow like TF's. And
no. When my contract negotiations back up, I'm going to remember this conversation.
I already put it in your file, Baker.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I put it in your file, and I put a lot of things in the file about you, Gutters.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Oh no.
Hopefully it was all good.
Right, I can only imagine.
We'll talk about it at the next HR meeting.
Okay. Uh-oh. Shit. I mean, dang, see, I'm going to
I just put that in there now.
I know.
Yeah, these HR meetings,
I know. They're killing me.
That's what happens. when you're a moderator.
They need a file cabinet just for my file.
Yes. Yours is big. It's a thick file.
Yes, I that way at most of my jobs.
Oh, you're a good employee, I bet. But I think in your story though, Gutters, I do think that was your mom. And you're not supposed to overload my mom would yell at me about overloading my washer too. So same thing.
Yep.
Like
the agitator.
Yes.
I was like, the only agitator is you, Mama.
Right.
She's like, she'd go off on me.
You know it also.
So what do you think? What do you think? Like kind of closing this up as well. What do you think about like the closure of the night? Like what do you think of it, Gutters? What do you think?
I think that we could go down this road to a lot more stuff. Because there is so much of it. When I started looking it up, it was amazing how much stuff there was.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say that the appliances are not made the way they used to be. When I was a kid, everybody's appliance, we had the same appliances our whole lives. And then now you buy an appliance and they only last for a few years. I swear I buy a vacuum every 2 years. We had the same one for my whole life when I was a kid. You had to have a running start to push it. But it lasted forever. But not anymore. They don't make appliances.
Them to mess up now.
Yeah.
That's
what I think. I agree.
Yeah, they make them to mess up. They want you to have to buy another one. They could make a light bulb go forever.
Oh,
they could make a light bulb go forever.
Well, light bulbs do kind of go forever now. Like the
but they still don't go forever. I mean forever. They could make a light bulb go forever.
Yeah, so. And you know what else I think is our technology is so good, but then if you watch any interrogations or whatever, they have the worst, talk about audio snob, they have the worst audio in those interrogation rooms. I always think you have to have better cameras and audio in an interrogation, but they don't. They have terrible ones.
No, and a lot of that though, they always say why are you going into a like the crime things happening and are going back and looking at what somebody robbing a gas station, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's why is that such horrible quality? Well, they're only filming at the lowest rate because of the fact that they it's a constant loop. They only have so much memory going. There is something to that.
Right.
It's not like some big conspiracy. That why that footage is all so horrible. It is, it just is.
Well, I get that. That's at a location. I'm talking about at the police station. Well,
it's the same thing. I mean, you know how cheap they are. I mean, it's a government thing.
Mm-hmm. You're probably right. But yeah, you would think that they would, when there's a big crime that they're trying to solve, that they might want to get to the footage right away instead of going back a week later, and then they're like, oh yeah, we lost that footage because it recorded over itself. It's well, damn, you had 4 days to get it or whatever, and it records over itself. I don't know. Just my thoughts. If I was the president, I would fix that.
Well, there you go. We should all vote for. We should all vote for you. Everybody vote. Everybody vote for me.
Christy. No, but I would like to be first lady. That would be fun. She seems like she's got a pretty much cake of a job.
Yeah, I think most people would like to be Melania. Hey, Friction, I didn't even see you sitting there. What's going on, Friction? What do you got to add to this?
I'd rather be president.
You'd rather be president.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You got to go. We're about to wrap this up. I didn't even see you there. I think you must have came in while I was, feeding the deer off the porch.
Of course you were. Yeah, it seems like just the right time to have it come in. But I was just coming back to kind of bullshit with you for a second afterwards. And
well, you got a ghost story for us real quick before we hop off here.
I mean, Yeah, they're like I've said in the past that when I've walked down the hallway in my house that I've heard something fly to the other side of the room in my daughter's bedroom, and there was like this little box that I had of scarves and mittens and things like that were in the very top of my daughter's closet, and they ended up flung into the wall, knocked some stuff loose on the wall, and all of my daughter's scarves were like everywhere in her room. It's not like it just fell from the wall and then, they just fell in a pile. Like they were all scattered throughout her room. And, my husband was home working from home that day. And I was just like, did you just hear that? And he's like, did I hear what? Did you not just hear that thud? Because I live in a 1960s built house, so there's always weird sounds, but not like that. And he said he didn't hear it. And when I walked into my daughter's room and I saw the stuff just all over her room, I had been in there earlier that morning after I dropped her off at school, and there was no explanation for that for me or for my husband.
That's kind of creepy.
And that's not the first time that something crazy just happened in this house, which I don't think anybody's died in this house. I think that the guy that we bought this house off of was the original owner, and his family were the original owners. So and he was really, really old when he ended up having to get moved over to an old folks home, nursing home, whatever type thing, upstate. And so I don't think that anybody died here. So I don't really have any ghost explanation for it either, but it was something kind of out of the norm.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
And when I told my daughter, when I told Little Friction about it, she was like, what? That happened in my room? She's like, why did you have to tell me about this?
Yeah, now she probably can't sleep at night. You're like, haunting her at this point.
Yeah, that wasn't my intention.
All right, cool. Well, let's go on ahead and wrap this up. I think we drove this. We had a good night, and I think it turned out fun for something we just kind of threw together tonight. I think it did good. What do you think, Gutters?
I do.
All right. What about you,
really
Baker?
Good.
No, I really enjoyed this topic, and can't wait for us to figure out what we're gonna do next week when we have when we're at full strength.
Yeah, when we get the whole panel back, that'll be very interesting. I'm sure we'll do something fun next week. Gutters, why don't you tell the fine folks what you got coming up this week?
Just the normal, Tuesday.
Well, tell them maybe they don't know what the normal is.
So we are going to do our normal political rant and rage and whatever it is that we need to get out for the week, dealing with all the political stuff and whatever else comes up in the week that we might want to do on Tuesday night.
So that will be over on Gutters Pub. If you're not subbed up to Gutters Pub, just type that in. You should be able to just type Gutters into the chat, and Nightbot will drop that. If you are not subbed up to Gutters, make sure you do it now. She does a lot of fun shows. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but just wanted everybody to have the time to do that.
Yes. So, and then on Friday mornings, we usually do Coffee Club. I didn't this morning. And then, of course, here on Friday nights to do our conspiracy theory stuff.
I like the conspiracy theory.
Me too.
And Baker, you don't have anything coming up, do you?
I mean, just being me.
Right. I love it. Hey, being you is awesome, Baker. You are awesome in yourself. I do want to say, though, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will be Friction. We're down for Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you tune in here Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We do have live interactive chat trivia that is an absolute load of fun. Make sure everybody does tune in here for that night. And I think that's about it. We do appreciate everybody who has tuned in tonight. And it's been a lot of fun, whether you're watching over on X, you're watching at Gunners, or you're watching over here. Still 220 people sitting here watching us talk about all this nonsense. So we do appreciate everybody. Wouldn't do it without you. If nobody was listening, we would just sit in the back room and talk to ourselves. But, glad y'all would be there. Hey, what's up, Big Dog Ma? Good to see you. Everybody have a great night. I think we're going to go out of here about the same way we came in. But, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
You're listening to the ASN Podcast Network.